Street champs, come get put on. Today I'm here with the one, the only, Cody Cozz from Pueblo, Colorado. How you doing today, Cody?
Dude, I'm great, man. It's good to be back here. We were kind of talking before, just the growth, dude, and it's been awesome to just see even you grow with your subs and just all of the followers, man. Street Champs has really just been putting it on, so it's been awesome. I appreciate you having me back.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you coming back. This is your third time or fourth time?
This is the third.
Third time.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. The first one, man. I tell people about the first one all the time. We just chilled here.
I know.
Finished that bottle of whiskey. That was a good time.
We just hit it off, too.
For real.
Similar mindsets, So.
Hell yeah. All right. So, Cody, for the people that are just getting introduced to you, I could name you. I could name it off. You're what? The first signed country artist out of Pueblo, Colorado. Do you know anyone else?
As far as I'm aware, nobody. Wow. There's been the more I've been made known to like Ryan Tedders from Springs, from One Republic. Mm-hmm. I've gotten pretty close with his mom over the course of time. So I obviously have learned just some of the bigger people that have come out of Colorado specifically. But as far as like country artists, I mean, there's a few of them. They're older guys, but I would say the more current one is Spencer Crandall. Some of you guys might know who that is. TikTok sensation, and he's out of Denver area.
Oh, really?
I believe. So.
Wow. Who has a bigger following, you or him? I've never heard of him.
Oh,
I've heard of Cody Cozz.
Him for sure. He hit it off. He jumped the gun early on TikTok, man, and I think with this new whole Threads thing, it's just nobody wanted to miss the boat just in case. But that was kind of him. It was like him, Warren Ziders, Bailey Zimmerman. They all kind of jumped on this TikTok train early when it first came out. And but Spencer Crandall, he's a hell of an artist. He's a great dude. And he reps the shit out of Colorado, which is great to see. In fact, I was just watching one of his live streams on Instagram just the other day, and he was rocking Denver Nuggets championship hat. So really, really cool.
Hell yeah. Are you on TikTok?
I am.
What's your TikTok?
At Cody Cozz Music.
How's that going for you?
It's good. I could be better about it.
Really?
I think I've gotten so I've had organic growth, and like kind of the old school way of doing it, of just going and playing shows all over the place. And so that's probably my weakest of all of my platforms. That's definitely my weakest one. It's just there's something about it that's tough for me. It's just like, time could be spent elsewhere doing different things, and like versus filming yourself singing and editing it for 45 minutes just to post it for it hopefully to blow up. And like kind of what I know about TikTok now is that it is truly just random, and there really isn't a recipe that works. And I have social media marketing teams helping.
Oh wow.
All these people and even those guys are just like, you just try to you follow the trends, you try to find the sounds that are popping and all that stuff, and every once in a while there's just one that'll hit. So I've had a couple of those. I've been fortunate to have some of my songs hit it on TikTok, and it's just helped. So but it's just truly random, and I think there's something about that I'm like, it's hard for me to, it's like the lottery, or just gambling in general. I think it's just I'd rather put my time elsewhere, but still follow me anyway, and
yeah, for sure,
I'll be better about it.
You on Threads?
I am on Threads.
That one took a nosedive.
Yeah,
that one, like 1 million people got on, and then 50 million people got off.
I know. Now it's next week. Yeah, now it's just everybody's off of it already.
That's crazy. Are you? What do they call it? Threading? Tweeting?
Yes, I guess it's threading. I think it's threading. But who knows?
Huh? Have you put one out yet?
Oh yeah, I was all over it for a while because that was what it was. It was, we got like this. So I'm kind of involved in some we get like information quicker than the public. So I remember I was at a baseball game, the Nashville Sounds game, with my manager, and we got this email from our marketing lady, and she was like, get on, it's all caps, get on this right now. So she gave us the pre-access to the app. So I was user 100,000 or something.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's insane.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Wow, did your sound just go out?
It's like clipping in and out.
Yeah, what the fuck's going on there?
I'm not sure.
1 sec, let me figure this out.
Here, I'll try to my XLR too.
Let's keep trying.
Check, 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 check. I think it's cool.
But anyway, so what is your marketing team looking like, on social media team?
Yeah, so we're working with. Is it hitting? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so we're kind of just dealing with this group that they just kind of help us with, like, I guess really what it comes down to is I'll send them like my videos on TikTok, and there's just like a lot of hidden stuff. Like, you can make like the captions on the videos disappear, and so when you search things like song of the summer, it'll pop up.
Oh,
It's like little hidden things, and less is more. So like when it comes to hashtags and stuff, less is more. I've learned. So it's kind of a weird thing, but the best thing about them is that they're just like they are truly studying that stuff every day. And so they get the ins and outs of what's trending, what's not trending, what hashtags to use per week, way before like the general public. And the TikTok thing is so, like, there's a push right now to essentially pay for your push that TikTok gives. So like you're paying TikTok to hit it. So it's kind of,
that's what every other platform does basically at this point. Facebook,
Yeah.
well, maybe just Facebook and Meta does that.
just like ads basically. So I mean, I figured it would probably eventually go to that, which they're smart to do it. I mean, but I think what's kind of nice is it's going to just go back to the old school way. Like, there's just so much saturation on it of everyone doing the same thing that original stuff is gone. Like, pretty much people are just copying each other, trying to be famous, overnight sensations, and you know, it happens. I think one of the best things about it is it's kind of changed the music business a lot. Like, it's discovered people who can actually sing and have talent versus a pretty face that they made a star, you know. And so there's the clash right now of that. And like, as far as the record labels and stuff are concerned, you know, they're still trying to sue TikTok, you know, for the viral sound stuff.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. So like, it's just, you know, the viral sounds, they just want to have a cut of that money, like, which, shocker, you know, just labels. But what really is kind of happening right now too is there's like these young artists, 19, 18, 17-year-old kids who are very green to the world. They're getting signed to these really just basic, horrible deals by these labels and publishing companies. And basically all they're doing is they're going to burn out really fast. Like, we could go in depth pretty heavily about stuff, but I probably shouldn't. But kind of what they're doing is they're just taking like these artists or just young people with real wide-eyed dreams, and they're telling them, you know, let's just say, I'm not going to use specific companies, but like, you know, the biggest label in the world is telling a young kid like me or you, you know, we're going to put you on the biggest platform. And of course, this young kid is going to be like, oh my gosh, yes, please. But what they don't realize is that they're selling their soul to just kind of get pushed out of the business in a couple of years. And, you know, the label makes their money. They make their quick turnaround cash. That's kind of what it is. It's like they're taking these kids with followings that they built, and the labels are using those to just get quick cash, and then they shelf the artists or they release them for nothing. Like, they're going to sign them to a development deal, it's called, for no money at all. And they're just going to, or they might give them a little bit, you know, but the rest of the percentage, 65, 70, 75% of their money that they should be making is going straight to the label. And it's just not sustainable. So they're kind of just, labels are kind of figuring out ways to screw a lot of people. But they hold the keys, so that's still always going to be the goal. If you want to really hit the mainstream, there's ways around it. But I'm talking real negative right now, but there's a lot of positives to it.
What's your deal looking like?
So I'm about ready to finish my deal in January, which has been great. I've loved working with Grindstone. It's been a great learning experience. We're kind of just growing out of it, which was always the goal. Like, it was always, I was the first signee, and I was kind of the test dummy, and things have gone super, super well. So we're getting looked at by, as of right today, actually, we're getting looked at by 2 new bigger labels.
Got any names? Or you want to hold it close to the chest?
One that I'll say for sure, we're kind of just in talks with, is Red Street Records. And the guy who founded it is one of the founding members of Rascal Flatts.
Oh, wow.
They just signed a big artist that left Big Loud not too long ago. His name's Chris Lane. And, a rep for them came to one of my shows randomly and just really liked my sound, my stage presence. And then she ended up coming to a few other shows while I was playing and was just like, damn, like, you just got it, So a few weeks ago was CMA Fest week, and they invited us to, just a ton of events. And so we got to really be close-knit with their group.
You were on like the CMA Fest always happening in Nashville? I don't know.
It's a 1 week thing. It's just like, pretty much everybody that's anyone in country music is home in Nashville at that time. And so it's like, it's basically just free stages besides Nissan Stadium, but like, they're just all over downtown Nashville. And the influx of people, I think, is like 500,000 people come.
Oh, wow. And then it's televised on like TV and stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's the award show.
Yeah.
Oh,
Pretty
wow.
much. It's not so much an award show, but it's more of just like a massive party concert kind of thing.
Oh, really?
And all they'll show on TV is like the main art, like Cody Johnson, Luke Combs, But we were invited to that. My last single that I just put out, I'm Just a Country Song, just hit really well with the market for distribution. And I don't know what it was. They just really liked it. And
it's a good song.
Yeah, thank you. And we ended up getting invited to CMA Fest this year. So we got to walk the carpets and do like the interviews backstage, and which was a process. It was a learning curve for sure. I had 4 shows in 4 days. As far as just waking up at 6 a.m. to be downtown to start your interview stuff, and it was just an all-day thing. You go support other people, or you get invited to like certain companies' parties, or like get-togethers, so you got to make those, and then afterwards there's always after parties, so you got to go to those, and those last till 2 a.m. and then you're up at 6 a.m. the next day.
Wow.
So not a lot of drinking wasn't done those nights. It was just definitely just networking and making sure you're coherent. I mean, I think especially for our first one, that was kind of what me and my manager, shout out to Peyton Eben, he was like very vital. My publicist as well, Trevor Perkins, they really made sure I was up to speed with everything I needed to know. As far as like who I needed to meet, or like, what we should do. Like, they just kept me real professional for a situation that I kind of got thrown into last minute. Like, see, I wasn't expecting to go to CMA Fest at all. And then it was just kind of last minute that we got, hey, we really like this song. And then one organization, Country Politan Magazine, has really taken a liking to me, and they were just like, man, we'd really love it if you would correspond with us this week, and come out. We'll invite you. And then once we told like all of our, friends we were going, they were like, oh shit, like, we would love to have you on for our stuff. So it turned into just a really, really big thing. And then, yeah, it was a great experience. So, I mean, so much. I would say the biggest thing about Nashville is it's more so the networking, like the business side of it and the networking, especially. You're not going to get that anywhere else. And, you know, like I said earlier about the powers that hold the doors, you know, they have the keys to the doors. Like those are who you're trying to meet and just interact with. And, you know, if you're going there for any other reason, just do it for the right reasons, I guess. You know, if you're going to move there, do it for the right reasons. Don't expect to be famous. Don't, you know, go in there with swinging your thing like you got to become a member of the community. And, you know, people are willing to help you, but it's not going to be handed to you. You know, you got to work your ass off and really show that you care about it, because everyone else does, you know, and it's like they're not going to waste their time with somebody who's just putting in minimal effort, and they, you know, it's a true grind. So
you brought up the point that minimal drinking was done during the CMA Fest. Sorry.
Yeah.
Have you seen a lot of, you know, young up and coming musicians kind of throw away their opportunities by maybe, you know, indulging in, you know, like the party scene a little bit too much?
Absolutely.
Really?
I think it's like anything. It's in moderation. You know what I mean? I mean, you never know who you're going to run into. So it's like, if you're absolutely shit-faced,
yeah,
and you happen to run into some label executive, you know, or it's how you handle yourself, like after a show. You know, you don't know who's in the audience. Like, I played a show, and that, like I said, that label A&R was there, and you know, I learned that early on when I used to play the Gutter House out in Pueblo West. You know, and it was like, you know, it was just, you never know who's going to be there or what opportunities you're going to get. You never just want to make yourself look like a jackass, you know, and it's like, but it's in moderation. You know, those people want to have fun as well, the people you are going to meet, but have fun with them. You know, don't if that's all you're doing it for is to just get hammered and, you know, do drugs or whatever your thing is, girls, guys, whatever your vice might be, you know, that's
girls and guys.
Yeah.
Shout out LGBTQs.
Yeah, man. It's just like, you know, there's just a fine line. It's still a job. You know, you're still clocking in and working, you know, and I think that's maybe a misconception for what this business really is it's truly in the music business. If you tell somebody, hey, what do you do for your living? And you say you're a singer, you're probably, you know, not the guy. If you're saying, oh, I'm in the music business, because it's a full-time job. And, you know, I have not taken a break in the last 2 years. You know, it's just a constant grind, and I love it, every second of it, the ups and downs of it. And
give me a down. What's happened recently?
You know, you get shows canceled or something, or like, because that's what pays your bills, especially right now. I don't do anything else. This is all that I do. I don't have a side hustle. I don't have a side job.
No Uber Eats for this guy.
No Uber Eats.
No fucking
Nope.
Lyft.
Yes.
Nothing.
Yeah. So this is all I do. So, like, you know, you kind of set up schedules and you rely on a lot of people. So it's like, you know, if a show gets canceled or they reschedule it, it kind of screws with your source of income that's coming in that you kind of have to plan for. And like, I have employees that I have to pay, you know, and that ain't cheap. I got rent, you know, and all this stuff. I got bills to pay too. So, you know, those are down moments, I guess. Thankfully, I haven't had too many of them, but they happen. And it's all an attitude too. Like, if I do have downs, you know, the first thing I'm doing is figuring out how to go around it. Okay, well, this show got canceled, so let me call around and see if I can book another one. And so if you're kind of just, you know, you just got to always keep your head up. You know, if it was easy, everybody would do it. Everybody would succeed, you know, and it's like, it truly is just how much confidence do you have in yourself? Are you willing to be patient? Are you willing to be consistent? You know, confident in what your product is. You know, don't try to be somebody you're not, you know, and it's like, you're going to find a market for yourself. And there's so many people in this country, like, and don't get discouraged by others either. Like, people have taste. I can name 12 artists right now off the top of my head that are mainstream guys that I don't really listen to. I'm not a fan of their music, And I'm sure that I'm not everybody's cup of tea either, but, you know, it doesn't mean that I'm doing anything wrong. You know, it's just some people don't like what you have to offer, and that's okay.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
Yeah.
And what about when you're performing a show, you say when you get off the stage, you have to be particular about what you do. What is your nightly ritual when you're done for the night?
Man, I think what I like to do is just kind of take the time to decompress. I really like to be by myself a little bit. You know, I think a lot of that has changed since from a long time ago. Like, I used to really just enjoy, you know, the nightlife of it all, you know, a few years ago when I first started. But now, you know, it's just, you just, you know, it becomes just your daily life too. So, you know, you got to recharge your social battery. You got to, you know, I like to read a lot. I like to kind of just sit in my apartment in silence. I go to the movies by myself. You know, and I kind of just like spending time to myself and truly just letting all the music, the loud noise, the people kind of just have their space. And, you know, and it's just, but I also love playing shows is like how I decompress, and it's the best feeling in the world, and I wish I could bottle it and chug it every day, you know. But I think as far as just after the shows, to touch on that, you know, I've started to realize that my fan base is maybe different than others, I think.
In what way?
You know, I've come to realize that, like, my show itself, or like the songs that I sing, aren't really the trend of, you know, partying and drinking and all that stuff, which is fine. I think there's a market for that too. I'm just not that artist. And, you know, when I was kind of trying to figure out what lane I wanted to travel down, I know that was always a talk. It was like, do we want to go down the Morgan Wallen lane? Do we want to go down the, you know, edgier? Because country has become a lot edgier now. It's definitely more of a metal rock type of thing. And then if it's even not that, like, you know, you have
Lil Nas X.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's kind of taken a different route, which is good. I think it's good for the genre. I think it's good for just creativity. But, like, you know, I have little kids that come to my shows. And I have older people that come to my shows. So if I'm up on stage flipping people off and, you know, saying, show those things to me, girl, then it's probably not the best move, you know.
What would you what you know, there's subgenres of country, as you're saying.
Yeah.
What subgenre is Morgan Wallen? You said he's like,
I would say he's definitely like the catalyst of what started this movement that we're kind of in right now. He's I would say he's more like, from what I gather, I've never met him, it seems like he was never really into country music when he first started. Like, he was definitely more into, you know, the butt rock, like, you know, Three Doors Down.
butt rock?
Butt rock.
I've never heard that.
Nickelback. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Butt rock. That's hilarious. That light's not even on. We're fucking, oh my God, what am I doing here? I'm turn that on. We've been going for like an hour.
Shout out to the almost 3,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
Now, look at that.
Got
Cleared
the
up
lighting looking
completely.
good.
We need, for this one, you guys just need to take this episode and roast this guy. All the comments. Just roast him. Make him feel good, because he's got to get used to the haters.
Oh man,
You know what I mean?
Man, the haters. we'll speak on that.
Yeah.
I got something to. I got some shit to say on that. But Morgan Wallen. I've been actually listening to him a lot lately. Yeah.
He's great.
He's really good.
I you know, he's I think there's, like I said, there's kind of a trend with his sound, which you would expect. You know, it's like when Florida Georgia Line came to the scene, they were like the first pop country, and then everybody sounded like them, and then everybody hated country music because it was too poppy.
True.
So now it's pendulum back to the other side.
Yeah.
So, but now it's getting too much. Like, that's all you hear is just people with the same voices, the same tones, the same type of songs, the same story. So it's kind of just getting a little.
Would you liken Jelly Roll to Morgan Wallen?
I would say so. I think so. Because Jelly, like, which he's a great dude, by the way. So I'm happy for his success. His stories are amazing. He's the most, in my opinion, relatable guy in country music because he's been through it. Like, and so that's one thing I like about his music is that he touches on a lot of life that a lot of people go through. And like, country music has become really genreless. Like, it's very much sing what you want and sing what you think is good. So I think they're similar. I mean, not crazy similar, but like similar in some ways.
I would think so too. You know, as like I'm not a super hard country fan. I'm a regular. You know, I listen to country every now and then. So I'm kind of out in the distance. So I would liken them to that. And yeah, I was listening to all your new music today. And yeah, your music is it's more marketable. I could see your music being played, you know, like you said, around people of all ages.
Right.
So yeah, I think you worded that really well.
Yeah. What I've kind of been told about my sound is that I'm very modern traditional. That's what they call me. And kind of what they're banking on, what we're banking on, because obviously I don't have a twang, and that's something that they appreciate. It's very unique, and I have a very pure voice, and so it's like, you know, a little more pleasant to listen to. So kind of what they're expecting is to just like, as the pendulum is swinging back to the middle, like I'm gonna hit it kind of right at the right time to where I'll just hit.
That makes sense.
So I will say that kind of the way, like, over the last 2 years, as I've been putting these songs out, you know, I kind of know what I want to sing and like how I want to present myself, the way I want my shows to go. You know, so I would say that some of the songs that I have out now, if I could go, you know, if I knew what I knew now, then I would probably do and write things differently.
Like what songs?
I would say probably, and you know, if you're my fans listening to this, you're gonna hate me for saying this, but I would say probably the "Wanna Be That Guy." I probably would leave that off.
Oh, really?
For several reasons.
It's a good song.
Thank you. It's just not, you know, kind of, it was at the time of my life, but it just isn't now. And it also is, it split half my audience, that particular one, because it's like a song for the ladies, you know. And so like a guy isn't going to be singing that song, you know. So it hit, and ironically, that's why I feel like, because that was the song that got me on a billboard in Nashville. You know, it blew me up, and like on TikTok, and did super well. And you know, it also made it to radio. All of my songs have made it to radio, which is great.
Yeah.
You know, it's been amazing. But like, yeah, that one was ironically the song that kind of hit. You know, it built a lot of relationships with the news media of Nashville. And that kind of those relationships that we built from that song is what has kept me growing. So I don't regret the song. I love the song. It's just currently it's probably not the sound that I want to continue to follow, you know. So like I kind of know what I want to sound like and the type of songs I want to sing, but I think that's just the ever growing thing for anyone in the music industry.
Any person that creates is like, you know, this one thing put me on, but is it this one thing that defines me? I interviewed this guy named Andy Rue. He's a TikTok sensation, low-key, out of Colorado Springs. He created the Minecraft Oof remix. Have you heard of it? It's fucking stupid popular on TikTok.
I'll have to look it up.
It's like oof, oof, oof. but it's like crazy viral.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know
crazy
exactly
viral.
what you're talking about.
He made that, and he's more of a melancholy, sad singer.
Yeah.
He has love songs.
Yeah.
But when you go to his Spotify, that song
That's
has
the
like
one.
millions
Yeah.
and millions of views.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, where he's kind of defined by that song, but his personality and his music type couldn't be more far off
Right.
off that meme hit.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It is crazy. Yeah. There's, it's so funny that you say that too, because I know so many people that, they weren't expecting a certain song to hit, but that's why you kind of have to be careful with the TikTok because I've been told that before. Like once you hit with something, you kind of have to follow that if you want to stay relevant, because people follow you for a reason. So it's like, that's why I've always said, like, I'm not gonna sell my soul to TikTok and walk in front of a bus just to blow up, because they're not gonna follow me for my music. They're gonna follow me for
dances or
stupid.
some shit. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes total sense. I feel like personally, our content does better on YouTube Shorts anyway. I think YouTube Shorts
100%.
all these American companies are trying to compete with TikTok, and they all are rolling out short content platforms. So
I will say, like, the push right now for YouTube Shorts is huge. I mean, we just got that maybe a month and a half ago. Start posting on, like, you're going to post the same shit to every platform. So do it to all of them, and don't count out YouTube. Like, it was a dead thing for a minute, but I think they realized that, and so they created something that's going to keep them involved. But YouTube Shorts is kind of an untapped market in a way, and like, it does bring, a lot of different art audiences to your platforms. So I'm sure you've seen that.
Oh, huge. Yeah, we probably get close to 45% of our daily views. We got 120,000 views this last 28 days.
Yeah.
I would say like 40 to 50,000 of those came from Shorts.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah. What about outside of social media and stuff? How are you said you're making yourself a part of the community. How do you make yourself a part of the community in like a city that's, expecting 500,000 people, every year just for this award show or event show? Sorry.
Yeah. I think it's really just supporting people.
Really?
I think,
you mind if I smoke?
No, not at all. We all move there. Like, so many people move there for the same reason. They leave their hometowns. They leave their family. They leave everything they've ever known to go pursue this dream. So, you kind of have to, unless you're okay with being completely alone and having no friends.
Wow.
Then I don't know, but like, I know I wasn't that way. So the first couple months I was in Nashville, I was going from my apartment to the gym across the street to the grocery store and back. That was it.
Wow.
Like, that was all I knew. That was all I was like. And I was kind of waiting for, I had made all these artist connections. I'd opened for all these guys who I got their numbers, and, but they have their own careers. So at the time I was like, I would hit them up and they were like, oh shoot, I'm on the road, or, whatever. So I was just by myself, and I finally just was like, if I don't do something and start just putting myself out there, then I just came here to be on vacation, and I'm wasting a lot of valuable time. So I did what, I'm not the most comfortable doing, which is just going out, to the bar. Cause that was, I had learned some of the lessons here in Pueblo. It was like, if I'm always at the bar, I'm a bar fly, and
It's bad luck.
Yeah, it is. And so I was like, is this the right move? I didn't know what to do, so I just kind of just said, screw it. And I went. So then I just started making friends. That's how I met, some other artists my age who, we just hit it off. Like, and then sure enough, I met this guy who knew this guy, who knew this guy, who knew this guy, who knew this guy. And it just branched into this huge thing. And, I'm fortunate enough to have met people that are willing to like just continue to help my progress. But yeah, it's just, now, but what I mean, I think, by becoming part of the community is, when you do go make those friends, go support them, go to their shows, because you're not playing every day, and you never know who's going to be in their audiences, and going and writing songs with people, and just going and having fun. Not everything has to be about music, but it's just putting yourself out there too. And like, people are, like I said, there are a lot of people that have moved there, 5-10 years before me, that have made it for the most part in their own ways, and they have lessons that they're willing to tell you about, to help you skip some of these things that they ran into, or some of these roadblocks, and they want to help, which is what's crazy. And before I moved there, I had so many people tell me, oh my gosh, it's this cutthroat place, like, everybody just is out to get each other. And dude, I just have not experienced that, and maybe it is that way, but
I think it's levels. You think, you're what level do you think you're at right now? What would you describe yourself as?
Man, I would say I haven't even sniffed the surface of making it.
Really?
Truthfully, I think, it's like I'm in the door. Like I would say there's an outer ring, and then there's it's like the Pepsi Center. When you get in the building, you can start working to playing on the court.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But it's tough to get in. So I've made it in there, and I think I'm getting closer to the floor. But I would say I still have, unless some just TikTok thing hits, and just the one song that it takes happens to hit.
A thread hits.
Yeah, right. Right. It's probably, I would say that, they call Nashville a 10-year town. I think I'd say I'm probably, our goal is to beat it within the next 5 years to get it. So that's kind of I'm 25 now. So by the time I'm 30, really hitting. And I think we're on that spot. I mean, we're getting looked at by labels, big publishers. We're starting the sponsorship thing with companies. I've signed my first brand deal with Rock and Roll Denim.
Oh, heck yeah. Shout out Rock and Roll Denim.
Yeah, and Double B Hat Company.
And
too.
Double B Hat Company.
We're talking with a lot of other people as well, to just help financially sponsor things to help me tour. As far as, because none of that's cheap, and I think that, but we're getting finally into we just started talking to, I don't want to jinx it, but AEG is one of the biggest
wow.
booking agencies in the world.
Yep.
And there was a guy that happened to be there. I'll try to keep this in the most easier way, but there was a guy who happened to be there who's really up and he was at one of my shows, and I ended up getting to meet him.
Wow.
And he was like, damn dude, you're really good, would love to have you a part of our circuit. And it was just holy cow. And that was a few weeks ago, and then he just reached out to our middleman contact today. Wow. Before I got here, and was like, hey, let's get the ball rolling here. We would love to have you part of, our circuits and getting you involved. And
yeah, especially with that, they just made that. They're making that new amphitheater in Springs. Right. Mm-hmm. AEG just signed the.
Yep, they have a 10-year deal with them.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense right there.
Yep.
Colorado kid.
I know. So it's been cool, and and again, shout out to the people at Notes Live. They've been so instrumental in changing my career.
What's Notes Live? Sorry.
Boot Barn Hall.
Oh yeah,
Sunset
yeah.
Amphitheater.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So JW Roth.
I saw you there one time. You gave me tickets. That was a sick ass show.
Thank you.
Hell
Thank you. But yeah, man. JW Roth, the guy who is the owner, operator, kind of visionary of all of this. Man, he's been amazing. Chloe Hoff, the COO, that's what I would consider her, of that place as well. They welcomed me into the Boot Barn Hall 3 years ago, and that was back when I was still sitting on a freaking bar stool, not even able to stand and sing at the same time. and they let me play a show there. And you know, it just the following that I had even at that time was so loyal, and just they showed out. And you know, they were really impressed, so they just kept having me back, and they kept, you know, introducing me to everybody that they knew, and they were who kind of that kickstarted that AEG thing. Mm-hmm. So that was how I was able to meet him, was because they had me play their Sunset Amphitheater groundbreaking event.
Oh wow, okay.
And he was there, and so that was how that started. So we're gonna keep in contact with him, and he's very eager to like get me involved. And you know, it was kind of crazy because when I was talking to him, you know, oh man, please don't. I'm just like, Jinx, please don't. But anyway, when I was talking to him, he was just like, yeah, man, would love to. He's like, we can always use support at like the Grizzly Rose or at Red Rocks. And I was just like, what?
That'd be insane.
Dude, right?
Wow.
So yeah, man, it's just like, it's the craziest things, man. And like, you know, just Pueblo's been so good to me. Saturday I played at the county fair, and
I saw that. Where was that?
That was at the PB&T tent by the grandstands.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
And last year, dude, we had 1,200 people show up.
Oh wow.
And it was just too many, so they capped it this year at 1,000. And yeah, and they stopped keeping track at 8 o'clock, but they said they were at about 830 plus at that time.
Wow,
that's a ton, man.
Yeah, it's a huge amount.
Yeah, and it's like just crazy. And
it's like almost 1% of Pueblo, probably.
Yeah. And I've sold out Boot Barn Hall twice, 1,200 people.
Wow.
Yeah. And you know, we're playing at the Ice Arena Event Center here in Pueblo, August 5th.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw their. That's the first concert they're ever doing, right?
Yep.
How'd that come about?
So, Jerry Wilhite, I think is his last name. That's how you pronounce it. I could be wrong, but similarly, just a guy, another visionary, that just has so much, especially considering it's Pueblo. Like, he came out to Nashville, because he wanted to kind of make Pueblo downtown, the Riverwalk area, similar. And he was just like, yeah, I mean, and it was just a good idea. And like, you know, obviously he does the Pueblo Bulls thing, and he owns that, and, you know, has gotten that so many opportunities for those kids.
Oh yeah.
And just,
they leveled up like crazy. Now they're like nationally looked at.
Yeah.
It's amazing. They were nothing a few years ago.
Yeah. And it's just great for Pueblo. And like, you know, it's a guy who doesn't need to do shit for people, but he just wants to. Mm-hmm. And that's guys that get stuff done. And like, he just had a bigger vision than just Pueblo hockey. Like, you know, so he's figured out ways to get the ice off the floor and put it back in, like you see at the Avs games, for God's sakes. Like, it's crazy. And he's like, I mean, he originally wanted to bring in a huge artist, and I would open for him. And my manager, as well as kind of myself, we just didn't. I think really what it came down to was, you know, if you screw it up, you'll never get another big artist there. So you got to walk on eggshells a little. And since it is such a wonky built facility, like it's got the concaving roof, you know, and like the acoustics, there's just so much to battle a little bit. They really had to kind of get in with an engineer to combat some things, make sure the sound's good.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And you know, he's a guy that's just willing to make it right. You know, he's going all out with this stuff. He's going to have video boards there. Like, you know, the sound system's going to be insane. You know, my buddy, Dan Marshall, who's a great friend of mine, one of my best friends out there. If you look him up, he finished in the top 10 last year on American Idol, and phenomenal singer, just great dude. He's going to be opening for me, full band, that same night. So, you know, tickets are available. And I think capacity's like 2,000 or something. So I think it would be sweet to sell that out.
Damn, that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna sell it out.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
How much are
that'd be
tickets?
cool.
Any idea?
I think it varies. But I want to say the price start at like $20 maybe.
Cool.
I would say.
Hell yeah.
So, but yeah, they have like some VIP packages, some box seating, and
Let's do a day in the life of Cody Cozz that day, bro. It'd be
I
sick.
know, that
Let's
would be
edit
cool.
it all cool.
yeah, that would be cool.
That would be. Put
I'm
on your
down.
YouTube.
Yeah, definitely.
A cool introduction video to your channel.
We'll talk about it for sure. Let's do it.
I'm down. All right, I want to go back to what you were talking about when you said you first moved to Nashville.
Right.
You said that you were going to the gym across the street, the grocery store, back home. You ever cry? Just
Oh
feeling
yeah.
so lonely.
Yeah. Not so much lonely, just stress.
Really?
Yeah, it's a lot of. There's just so many unknowns, like, you know, and like, but it's healthy crying, healthy stress, like, you know, it's an expensive business, and you know, you get a lot of money to come in. I'm one of the few at my level, I would say, that gets, you know, the amount of money that I have coming in, but I also am getting rid of like 80% of it as soon as it comes in because I have to pay other people and reinvest it into my small business.
Yeah,
you
as
know,
you should.
it's still a small business, you know, and I think, you know, so there's been, you know, it was probably, I would say, a couple weeks before I came and flew back here, you know, I was running on fumes as far as finances were going. And
Wow.
I got sick, like I got strep throat. So I had to like cancel a couple of shows that were big shows. And then I was getting healthy for a show that was going to pay out a lot. And then weather canceled it. And I had to pay rent like the next day. And I also had to pay like all of my people. So I spent like $3,500 that day. And then, I ended up, I think it was, I locked my keys in my car Father's Day.
Wow.
And I had a gig that night, and it was coming down to the wire when this guy showed up. And when I called the company, they were like, yeah, it'll be about $50. It was a Sunday also. So the guy shows up. He's like, hey, he told you how much this is going to be, right? And I was like, yeah, he says like $50. And he goes, no, that's just for me to come here. He said it's also Sunday and Father's Day, so it's going to be about $245.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Just
and
unlock your car?
Yeah, dude. And I know I totally got screwed, but I was like under the gun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I had no choice. My mom was like, you should have just broke your window. And I was like, yeah. And I don't know, you know, I'm still learning how much.
I feel like no window would be more expensive
Right.
than
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what I think too. And like, you know, I'm still learning just, you know, things do cost different out there. I don't, you know, some things are more expensive here or they might be more expensive there. You know, here I might know some people that could hook me up with a deal, or like, you know, they know my family or something, and
You
they
should
might
get triple A, bro. Fucking it's like $40 a month.
Dude, I know.
Yeah,
I with how much I'm on the road anyway, I probably should.
I have triple A and I fucking don't do anything.
I'll just take your account.
Yeah, exactly. No, you call me, bro. I low key, like, you can call me 3 times a year and it's free or free.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So yeah, dude, it was, and I was running on. I only ate PB&Js that week, and I remember I called my mom and I was just like, I just vented for a minute and cried, and then woke up, you know, the next day, and you got to find a way. So that's what I did, and just, you know, I really do trust the process too. I know that, you know, whether you're believe in God or not, I do. I just know that, you know, He has my best interest in mind, and if something doesn't happen, it was not supposed to happen. And so, you know, sure enough, like, it was like a day later, I got a DM from a guy in Memphis that was like, hey, dude, love your music. Would love to have you come down and play. And sure enough, it was the same amount that I had the previous weather show that was canceled. And I was like, I'm there. Don't even have a question asked.
What's like a big amount? Like, what's that number?
that was just an acoustic show for an hour for $1,500.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
What's like the biggest check you've gotten for one show?
6,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah. So it varies, in between.
And playing at Jai Doan's over here.
That was $100 for 4 hours.
That's crazy, man. How the value of your time just increases.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, and it's real, and it's good, man. And it's like, I don't try to screw people either. Like, I want to do it right, and I want to be invited to come back, and and so like the 6,000 one was, it was because we had to bring so much. And again, it's just the value of your time and, all that stuff. And like, I'm still kind of waiting to see the funding coming in from, it's like anything. It's like supplemental income, like your songs, it's just, I'm still waiting to see those checks. They kind of get reinvested into other things. And then I just, merch is 80% of, I think the biggest show I had, I played in front of like 5,000 people.
Wow.
And sold merch that day, and I made like $6,800
wow.
or something in
that's insane.
a couple hours.
Wow.
Yeah, profit. I mean, that was my walk away. So like,
artists really live off that, man. Especially in hip hop.
Yeah.
Tech Nine says he makes his whole living off that.
Yeah, merch is probably. I actually did. It's funny that it reminded me. This guy told me merch is what keeps the lights on, and it's so true. I mean, so it's tough, like you got to find the balancing act of, I think sometimes people forget that, like I said, I don't make that much money. Like it comes in, but it also comes out just as quick. It cost me $3,500 to record one song. So it's,
wow.
Yeah. If you want it done right. And then that's not even including the post when you're trying to put it out, like how much goes into that is a lot too. And
are you like contracted to stay with one engineer?
I think it's relatively the same. Like there's cheaper ones, but you can tell the quality difference.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And it's just like, when you're competing against massive labels that are even better quality, you get what you pay for. I've always said music business is people complain about the price of equipment and all that stuff, and it's like you do get what you pay for. You don't want to cut corners on certain things. You might be able to on certain things, but your sound is what you sell. I mean, if you're cutting corners on that, then that's not, cut corners maybe on like the XLR cables or something, because those go bad anyway, and that's just a connection thing. But like as far as microphones or speakers or things like that, recording equipment, I know not everybody has $3,500 to spend on a song, and they don't have the connections that I have in order to get me in these rooms with these great people. But it's the recording game is changing too. I mean, it's getting a lot more user friendly, home accessible. Like, I mean, there's kids that go to Belmont University that are 19 out in Tennessee, and they cut demos that I listen to for some of my friends that are for $50, and I'm like, holy shit!
It sounded really good.
Oh my god!
Oh wow!
Incredible.
A lot of your friends mostly country artists, or is there other genres being made out there?
Mostly country.
Mostly
I know
country.
a few. I know there's a couple, hip hop guys out there that I know. I met a gal not too long ago. I forget her name, but she was from LA, but she writes songs in Tennessee, and but she's a pop artist. I know quite a few pop artists. So it's all, I mean, I think what's cool about Nashville is it's the best of the best musicians. I mean, and it keeps you hungry and competitive, and like you go see somebody and you're like, holy shit, I better step up my game. There's no time to waste. You can't take a break.
Yeah.
Somebody else isn't, so it's like you got to get up and do your shit.
Definitely.
So.
Yeah, it sounds like it sounds like it's becoming the mecca of music at this point, like all genres of music. It seems like anyone's going to Nashville or just Texas, really.
Yep, pretty much. Pretty much.
That's interesting. That's an interesting point. What about a girlfriend?
Single.
Single? Why?
Chasing my dreams.
Why?
Just no time for it. I think it's several things. It's a different lifestyle. I'm not a cheater. I'm not like a scumbag guy or nothing, but like, it's just you do deal with a lot of attention, and it's hard, I think, for even if you do communicate well. And I think that's also just a learning curve too, is just learning how much you might need to communicate. And, because I've had girls here and there that I've talked to, and, it's typically it's always been after the first show that they go to that they're like, I don't know if this is for me.
Oh, really?
And that's okay.
What do you think? What do you think it is?
Man, it's overwhelming. It's just an overwhelming thing. I think, I don't want to speak for girls out there, but like,
speak for them.
Yeah, I think it's just
speak for them. Let's hear it.
Yeah, man. I think it's just an attention thing. It's like, I value, mental health, and I've been in that other shoe of questioning and losing sleep at night from relationships, and like, you don't ever want anyone to feel like that. And I think that, especially as we get older, like, people value themselves a little more. The more heartbreaks they go through, they respect themselves more. So it's like, as far as a girl's perspective, it's like, I'm not going to sit here and judge you or be like ridiculing you because it makes you uncomfortable that there's so many girls that are giving me all this attention.
Yeah.
It's just like, why would you, I don't, and I think that it's going to be hard. I do think it'll be hard for me to find somebody, because of that, but also just real too. Like, somebody that's not going to just be chasing me for what I have kind of on the cusp right now. But I do think that there's a girl out there. I just don't know yet. And I also just don't really have the time for it, man. It's like, this is, I think we live in a post-me social media age, and my social medias are my business page. I'm not going to post that stuff.
That's true.
And I also value my private life too. Like, I that's one thing I will say about a downside of it is if you post a girl, you might have 20 of your girl fans coming on saying stuff about them, or like people might know them and they say things about them that like get in my brain. Or you lose. Every number matters for me right now, for like as far as followers, and I get told that all this. We're gonna pass on you because you need to have 20,000 more followers or something. Right. So it's like, if I lose 100 followers, that's a big deal. Took probably 3 or 4 months to get those 100 followers. So it's like, losing them within seconds just because you post a girl is not worth it. And it's like,
wow, that's an interesting point.
Yeah, dude.
That's an interesting point. Playing it off the follower count is an interesting thing, because I mean, it just speaks for itself, I guess. It's weird how that's how it is.
Yeah.
That's really how it is.
Yeah, I mean, and it's like, and I know, you might hear that and be like, wow, that's so superficial or whatever, but it's like, if you're going to be with me, you got to understand that this is how I would pay our bill. Let's say we get married. You know what I mean? And I'm still in this kind of grind phase, haven't really made it area. This is how the bills are going to be paid. And I think, again, like, take that with a grain of salt. If you're married, like, you're not going to be keeping that hidden, obviously.
Yeah. But no, yeah, you're totally right. You're totally right, man. Because at this point, like you said, it's going to be hard to find someone who's genuinely cares for you, because they already see Cody Cozz as Cody Cozz,
Yeah.
And not, what your full name, what is it? Cody Cozzolino or whatever, like, they don't see, they didn't know, as a kid, and what you like and what you, so.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a interesting thing, but that's okay. I mean, it's part of the sacrifice of it. And like I said, I not like cynical or jaded at all. Like, you know, I think the right person is out there that's going to be able to handle it all. You know, but I just, like I said, I don't want to waste any girl's time either, because I know that I'm not there for that yet. Like, I'm so focused on what I've got going on right now. Like, it's just, you know, you got to have somebody that's willing to not hear from you for a while. You know, my job is the nightlife a little bit too. So when I play a show, I have to go be the artist at the end of the night and go say hello to my fans and thank them for being there and how much that means to me. And like,
Gotta go hug 100 girls.
Yeah.
And they're gonna hate that.
You got to go, you know, pack up your equipment. You got to put it in the trailer, go to the next place. And that's, you know, takes hours to do. So it's like, you know, but it's just, it's going to take a confident woman, and that's okay. You know, and you know, I'm willing to communicate, and, you know, I think, but yeah, it's just not the time for me yet, I don't think. So, which is okay.
That's fair. I mean, I bet there's lots of girls hitting you up though at this point, right?
I think that's the other problem with it too. Is just like there is the DMs. It's a daily thing. I'll wake up to 5 or 6 DMs just every morning.
Nice.
And you know, when it's especially post show, you know, it's just like, you know, and but you know, you appreciate it though. Like it doesn't last forever too. And you know, you gotta make sure that you kind of, the wrong word to say is like entertain it, but like you just thank them for being there, and you know, you don't want to you just, you know, it's an awkward kind of position to be like. I get asked that sometimes, like while I'm on stage. It's like, can I get your number? You know, thankfully I wear these in-ears, so I hear it but I don't hear it, so I'm able to kind of play it off. Yeah. And it's
you're like, well, what'd you say, honey?
Yeah. But, you know, you also have to be careful with that, too. Like, again, it's how you portray yourself. Mm-hmm. You know, I've been at shows before where, you know, I've gotten some hate in the DMs for how long I talked to a girl. God, I didn't know you were like that. Like, we followed you because thought you were this wholesome guy, and here you are just flirting with all these girls. And it's like, I'm not even flirting with them. I'm just talking to them.
Really?
Yeah.
Like it was just some stage talk, like, oh, who else is having a good time here?
Oh yeah, man. And like, I've gotten bras and panties thrown at me too on stage.
Yeah, but what did you say to this girl that got the other girl mad?
Nothing.
Nothing? She was just like, oh wow.
Yeah. I just was like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, I think is what I said. But most of the time I just won't even respond, because it's not worth my time to respond. It's like, you know, if that's what you think I am, then you probably thought that was what I was before. Mm-hmm. So, you know, if that's what you think that I am, you know, then that sucks. I don't know. Like, I've gotten real comfortable in my own skin. I used to be a big time people pleaser and thought I had to really, like, you know, please everybody. Oh my gosh, what can I do to keep you as a fan? You know, but if that's the kind of person that you think I am, then, you know, and I really do. I'm not willing to risk my whole future over a one night stand either. So I've got too much to lose, and, you know, I've got too many people I want to make proud. You know, too many people that have taken a lot of chances on me, that have helped me get here. That it's like, I'm not just hurting myself. I'm hurting a lot of people that have helped me get here to this point. And I'm so far from where I want to be that, you know, if I throw it away because I just can't control myself for some girl, you know, it's just, and I think girls would respect that too.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I think anyone would respect that. Yeah. But, you know, brings it back to the point, you know, the closer you get to where you want to be, the harder it's going to be to find someone more relatable.
Totally.
You know,
Yep.
you're going to,
Yep.
So it's a give and take.
It is 100%
in those aspects. What about recognition, you know, in Pueblo, obviously, you know, what's that like now?
I would say it's like 80% of it is good. Maybe more than that. Pueblo is great. You know, there really isn't one place that I can go now without being recognized, and that's amazing. I mean, it shows that I'm doing something good. You know, and it's like, I used to not like it. It used to just make me uncomfortable because, again, I used to kind of care too much about what everyone thought. Mm-hmm. And it was like, man, I don't want to come across as this, like, God, this dude just craves attention. And I do remember a couple years ago, somebody asked me, they were like, oh, he goes around and asks to give autographs, like tells people, hey, let me sign that for you. And I remember when I heard that, I thought it was just the funniest thing. But
that'd be outrageous.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And but yeah, some people think that I do that. Some, you know, I would say that's the 10% that think that that's how that works. It's like he only goes out because he likes the attention. But I don't, you know. I've accepted that that's what happens because you have to. And like I said, I used to hate it because I would be like, God, I don't want this perception. Yeah. That's what people think. And, you know, and then I remember I told my mom one day, like I was sitting on the couch and I was just like, Mom, I just don't think this is for me. She was like, why? And I was like, well, people just don't leave me alone. And like all my friends are kind of like abandoning me. Because,
I remember we talked about this last time.
Yeah. And she was like, well, how selfish is that? I was expecting my mom to have my back, you know, mm-hmm. But she was like, you know, these people just love what you're doing. And like, they don't know that you're getting talked to and stopped all the time. They're just like happy to be a part of your journey. Mm-hmm. And it was just a different perspective to look at it. And like, it was the best perspective because, you know, I was at the gym. I'm not going to say the gym, but I was at the gym. And
say Planet Fitness.
Dang it. I know. Planet Fitness is where I go, dang it. But, yeah, you know, I was at Planet Fitness and there was, you know, I've met so many people that they're just like, you know, elated to meet me and like, you know how good that makes me feel. Mm-hmm. It's like they tell me how much they love my music and like how much their music resonates with them. This little girl, she was probably like 13, 14 years old, was so nervous to come up to me the other day, and she just handed me this little pen and paper and was like, you know, can you please, like, I just love your songs, and you know, I'm a singer too, and like it's such an inspiring thing, and you know, to just see what you're doing.
That's
yeah, man. Yeah. And her dad comes up to me and was just like, you know, and then somebody that knew her was at my show on Saturday and was like, you made that little girl's life, you know. And that's what this is freaking about, man. Like, at least for me. I mean, it's, you know, if I'm inspiring, because I always say that, like, I wish I would have started music sooner, mm-hmm. and because of what it did for my life. And
you could take that if you want.
Sorry,
if you need to.
I just need to check it.
Yeah,
my fault. But yeah, like, of what it's done for my life, if I can inspire some people to step out of their comfort zone and do it, mm-hmm. because I remember that was what it was for me. It was like, God, I just don't want to be made fun of because I like music. I don't want to be made fun of because I can sing, and that was what happened. You know, it was like I sang in high school once, and you know, my close friends at the time kind of just like teased me about it, so I didn't sing again. And then I sang my senior year one time, and it was a similar thing. It was just like, God, he just loves attention, you know. And it's like, why is that the answer? Like, what is wrong? Especially now, it's like, you know, if I do have haters out there, which I do, and I know who you are too,
Grandma.
Yeah, that's okay. You know, I've come to accept that. Again, like we said earlier, people have taste, mm-hmm. and people can think what they want. But you know, it's the haters are healthy for somebody, because you kind of just,
you don't know if you're growing, you don't know if you're doing something good until you have people hating on you. Hate is just a little bit of jealousy and envy.
Right. And it's okay. Like, I mean, it's, I guess that's what my advice would be to people that are, afraid to kind of really step out of the comfort zone because they feel like they're going to get judged, is just don't be afraid to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was, and I had to I could have and I know everything happened the way it should have when it was supposed to. But I love this so much, and music is all I think about.
Never want to quit?
No, and it's like I said, if I could bottle up the feeling that I get, give it to people to just try it, it's crazy. And so if you can do it and you think you can do it, you should try it at least. Mm-hmm. And don't even care about what other people think, because they're going to hate you. I've watched this freaking thing on Netflix called Quarterback. Mm-hmm. Kirk Cousins said, if I told my haters, I think it was, I couldn't swim, or I forget exactly what it was, but it was freaking brilliant.
Give us your take.
I think it was like, if I told my haters that I don't like the water or something, they would say it was because I couldn't swim or something. Mm-hmm. Like, there's always just a reason. Mm-hmm. They're going to find a reason regardless to not like what you do. And, and it is, I mean, ironically, most of my haters come from our age group here in town, which tells you all you need to know, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think but I have, so much support, behind me that doesn't even faze me anymore. Like it used to. When I would find out it was friends that would say things, or whatever, it used to bother me so much, and I would just be like, why? What is so wrong with a guy just chasing his dreams? Mm-hmm. And you'd think people would support that, but they don't, and that's okay. Like I said, it truly is okay that people don't like what you do. And I think it's just, there's a lot of people who are afraid to try to chase their dreams, or maybe just didn't go their way. I've been really, really lucky in my life to have achieved a lot of things and be good at a lot of different things in a lot of different areas. And so I know that was a lot of what it was. It's like, of course, this guy who, was kind of popular in high school and played football and went on to play in college, of course he's the guy that starts to succeed in music. Mm. And it's like, I get it.
Yeah, that trope, like, oh, this guy has it all.
Yeah, and I get it. But, it just...
You're also working for it.
I'm working my ass off.
Yeah, people see the like the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
When the bottom of the iceberg is moving to Nashville and eating fucking peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, right, and having nobody, and going to the gym and
yep,
and having like $0 and shit, yeah, like that. So
there's a sacrifice to it, man. And
yeah,
I know, I would say probably at least 50% of your audience is probably pursuing music in some way, if not more. And you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. It's just like, especially in the hip hop, rap game, pop game, things like that. It's so much it's so much more saturated, in my opinion, than country. But it's like, I took a lot of lessons from some of the people, about just going and giving it a shot, because they were posting they post their music, and they're not afraid. And, I might only get a couple likes here and there, but it's like, who gives a shit? Mm-hmm. If that's why you're doing it, you shouldn't do it. If you're doing it because you just want the attention and you want to try to be famous, then you don't love it. Mm. It's like,
but at some point, when you're pursuing it how you are, you're going to alienate yourself to
absolutely,
the point where, you say you're not where you want to be, but where you want to be,
is lonely. Yeah.
You're going to be lonely as hell.
Yeah.
You need to.
Yep.
But maybe you won't be. You're going to have family.
Yeah. The right people are there.
Yeah.
There's a circle. You establish that. And I think, You know, it's like anything. It's just, what do they say? Success is a lonely road.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's just, it really is. Like, there's a lot of people who give up on you on the way, you know, and it's like, kind of like I told you, I think that I'll probably hit it big within the next 5 years. So it's like, that's not saying I'm tomorrow, you know. So it's like, there's a lot of people who got to stick with you for the next 5 years. And that's maybe.
Mm-hmm. I see it sooner than that. In 5 years, 5 years is nothing, but I see it sooner than that for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, you know, like DJ Khaled says, man, suffering and success is when you're just gonna alienate yourself to the point where, you know, a lot of successful people just kill themselves.
True.
Which is. Have you ever thought about that?
No, until right now,
really?
But it is true.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're isolated.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's not a lot of people you can relate to. I know, you know, when I first was really succeeding before I moved to Tennessee, the relatability factor for people, because who do you turn to? You know, the perspective is like, man, you've made it. Like, how hard can your life be?
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty tough sometimes, you know, and, you know, sometimes there's a lot of people who are like, gimme.
Mm-hmm.
What can you give me? And it's like, nothing, you know. I bet half of your audience probably didn't know that I was, you know, still living on peanut butter and jellies. You know, they might hear, oh my gosh, he makes $6,000 for a show. I probably pocketed maybe $2,000 of that, and then that went to my rent and my bills and everything. So, you know, it's just like the rest goes out to the people who are helping me get to the next level. It's just, you know, it's a business at the end of the day. And they say that, like, any business that's created, it takes about 5 years to really start making some money. And this is no different. And it's like, you know, it's just a lonely road. Who's gonna kind of stay with you on that journey? And it's like, man, and you eventually find people who can relate to it as well. Like, you know, I think even when we met, we just hit it off because mindset wise, we were this. How can we grow? You know, so we just related. And then I think it's so cool to come back here 9 months later since the last time I was on, I'd say. And it's like, I walked in and I was like, dude, you're upgrading, like the couches, the mics, you know, just the environment, the lights, everything about it, subs, everything about it is growing, you know, so you've been growing as well. And it's just cool to see that, you know, and it's like, but guess what? I'm sure that you're lonely sometimes. And I'm sure that we talked about it off page about haters, you know, and things like that.
We can get into that. You know, loneliness, I feel like with the podcast thing and the music thing, the podcast is great because the team dynamic.
Yeah.
You know, I don't necessarily experience loneliness. Like, sometimes, like, I don't like when people come up to me. I'm in that point. Like, I'll have, like, grown men be like, oh, you street champs? Because I feel like we do a lot of hip-hop stuff.
Sure.
And hip-hop stuff is, like, you know, kind of violent sometimes. Sometimes we'll speak on some shit where I'll say some dumb stuff or someone else will say some dumb stuff. And I don't know if they're going to...
You don't know what to expect.
Like, punch me or something.
Yeah.
But, so I'm in that aspect. Maybe I'll grow out of it, hopefully.
Yeah.
But as far as the haters go, yeah, you know, someone told me, I think it was Black P. He has a really popular YouTube channel in Springs. He said that the hate comments are the best because they took their time. Only like a 1% of people comment. You know, it takes no one. I don't like videos. Do you like and comment on videos on YouTube?
I do. I think I do now because I know what it does for, like,
the people,
the success of others. And so, like, as far as my artist friends, or, like, you know, I try, like, if I do come across like D-Main, like, if I come across his stuff on Facebook, I'll, like, heart it because I know it's gonna push from my algorithms or something, you know, or your stuff too. Like, doesn't have to just be music, you know. It's just like, if they come across, or...
That's true. As far as the hateful aspect goes, Like it takes a special kind of person to comment something like mean.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Just to type, be like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm sitting in traffic. I'm gonna be like, oh, this fucking sucks, and you suck.
I know.
So
It's so weird how Like, could you ever imagine commenting something like that?
yeah, no, I wouldn't even. I would just close the app.
I know, right? It's weird.
Yeah. So like the mindset of someone with a hateful, like online hateful persona is one thing, because they won't be like that in real life.
No.
You know, the hateful person in real life, or the hateful person on the internet, is gonna shake your hand in real life.
Oh yeah.
Most of the time, and they're gonna be like, oh, like, I watch your shit. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah. That's the best one.
Yeah, probably something like that.
That's the best one that I get. Because like I said, I know who you are. The best ones are, oh man, love watching you grow.
Yeah.
I always see your stuff on social media or whatever, and it's like, thanks, man.
You never
Thanks.
like it.
You never like it. You never share it. But I do know what you do share.
Yeah. You know, how many friends do you have that you grew up with right now?
Ooh. Friends, not family.
Yeah.
I would say probably about,
Like close friends.
yeah. I'd say probably at least 10.
10?
Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot.
Yeah. I think, they're guys that have never, and ironically, it's not the ones that I ever thought it would be.
Mm-hmm.
So, like maybe the ones that I grew up with that I wasn't friends with when I was young are friends of mine now, because they never changed as I've changed. And that's something that's new for me, is that like my friends treat me like
It's one of the bros.
my close friends do, my circle, but like my friends now, they just see me as like an artist, which is fine. Like that's cool. I mean, it's just what you sign up for, man. It's like you got to know what you're sacrificing to, and it's like, I ran into a lot of people that just Saturday playing this show that I went to school with, or old teachers or coworkers from Lowe's, something, things like that. And, they come up to you and they're like shaking, just so excited to see you. And that's, I guess, what I was talking about before. Like when I used to not like, I'd be like, just relax, you're making me nervous. You're making me uncomfortable. Now it's like, I've just gotten so used to it. I've gotten so used to it just throughout the country. Like it's different outside of like Colorado, especially. I mean, I think even just like it's different outside of Pueblo, because I grew up here. So you probably know me in some way. I may have like installed cabinets in your house or something at one point.
We had never met before the podcast,
Right.
which is interesting.
Yeah, I know. No kidding. And we crossed a lot of paths. We just missed each other several times.
You're 1 year younger than me. You're 25?
Yeah.
I just turned 26.
Yeah.
So.
So I mean, but you went to county.
Yeah.
And I went to West.
We were rivals. Nah.
We're gonna box right here. Okay?
Yeah. Nah. Dude, actually, speaking of haters, this guy actually asked me to box on live. He's like, I hate you so much. But I think he's just a troll, obviously.
Yeah.
But like,
he probably looks like one too.
oh man, I don't even want to get into his looks, bro. Getting back into the music. Your newest song, I'm just a country song. The cover art. Who's making your cover arts?
I am.
You are.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
Yep.
And
Yep.
How are you going about doing that?
I one of the first things I noticed when I started posting like about shows, I looked at every cover band in town and I said, what are they doing wrong that like the pros are doing right? Quality.
Facts.
And I will 100%, there has been a huge change. Maybe it's just the way technology has done things, but like I know then when I started doing that in Colorado, and I was like bringing a photographer every chance I had to my shows, now the game has changed, and people are focusing more on, at least here in Colorado market, on quality, because it's important as shit, and it's probably the most important thing. Like, you can't sell a professional thing if you don't look professional. And I remember I had gotten some graphic, like, phone apps. So I was making my ads for my shows, and, I look at the ones that I first made, and I was like, God, those are so weird. But, I've gotten really good at it. Really? And, I'm extremely picky about my brand. I send things to people, and that's one thing. It's like, you just never know what you're going to get. So it's like, I have had people take photos for me, and the photos sucked. The videos sucked. The cover art, trash. And I'm paying for it. And I'm like, now that I know, how much time goes into it, like, I just knew they weren't taking the time.
Yeah. You can knock out a cover art fairly quickly, yeah. 10, 30 minutes.
Dude. Yeah. Like, my friends will ask me to do their cover art, and I'll do it for free because it takes me 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I might just be, sitting on the couch or laying in bed, and I can bust it out real quick, and it looks phenomenal. And it's like, I'm going to do this for my friends because, it's the right thing to do, whereas somebody's going to charge them, $450 or something for it.
$450, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's insane.
So it's just like, I don't know. I think I just got and I enjoy graphic design, like cover art, like building my things for my shows, because I always kind of just try to test myself of how cool I can make them look. And then I also just copy things sometimes. Like, if I see one that's cool, I'll screenshot it and I'll try to recreate it in my own way.
You just got to get into Photoshop. You just got to get...
Pretty much.
You don't have Photoshop yet?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Oh, you do? Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely just got to dig into there, because that's what I do all day.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It's so fun.
It's super fun. Like, I mean, you don't smoke weed, but I'll just smoke a joint and I'll just sit on Photoshop for like hours and hours. Just
I'm sure you're probably more creative that way too, because you're just a little freer.
Whoa, what are lines?
You're not like overthinking it,
It's a good time. Yeah. I've always been an artist. You ever did painting or anything?
Yeah, I was probably when I was like in middle school, I wanted to be a Disney artist.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I had sent in some photos to Disney Animation Studio and Pixar, and they sent me things back, and they were like,
that was your mom and dad.
No, dude, I swear I still have the stuff. And they were like, they had sent me a thing. They were like, for your age, we're really impressed. Like, well, they probably send like that out to everybody. You know what I mean? When you think of, like, I remember I sent a letter to George Bush.
What did the letter say?
I don't know. It was probably just like, hey, I'm writing a letter to the president, whatever. And I got one back, and it like had a picture of his dog. Like, it was signed, and like the letter was like, so cool of you to like be interested in politics and whatever. And I remember reading it, and I was like, I'm not interested in politics. Like, this is weird. Then obviously it was just cool. Like, you saw the presidential seal, and it was like, I don't think it, it doesn't really matter what president it is. It's just cool to have.
Yeah. I mean, George Bush is like an iconic president, man.
I know.
He's like a staple of American history.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Freaking, and music too. I mean, the iconic Kanye and George Bush moment, man. That's crazy. Wow. So a Disney.
Yeah, Disney
animator.
artist. Yeah.
That was your mom and dad writing back to you.
If it was, man, they did good, because they had like it had the Pixar Disney animation seal on it and stuff. And I think his name's John Lasseter, was the like founder of Pixar, signed it and everything. And I still have all of them. They sent me all kinds of stuff like to help me get better.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I was going to pursue it forever. And I don't know. I just, you lose interest in things. And I got older and was pursuing football more, and became more of the sports thing. And Yeah, that was pretty much. And I haven't drawn Mickey Mouse in 10 years.
Wow. Little known fact, man.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
I was going to be an actor, too.
Really?
Yeah. My cousin's an actor. He's on the Goldbergs on ABC.
Oh, wow. What character?
He's the hippie guy, the blonde.
Really?
Jacked.
Damn, I've never seen the Goldbergs, but after this, I'm going to go look it
You
up.
ever watched his name's Shane Top. Have you ever watched So Random?
No.
Do you remember So Random on Disney Channel? With like Demi Lovato and shit.
So random.
Yeah. They did like little skits. iCarly.
Oh, yeah, I remember
Remember
iCarly.
iCarly?
Yeah, he was on iCarly?
Yeah.
What was he on iCarly?
His name was Philip Lee on iCarly.
What
he was
role?
he was the prep kid, the like goody two shoes like prep school transfer.
Dang, no, I don't. Damn, I
Yeah.
wish I recalled that one.
But he was on So Random. He was Jack Sparrow. He was like he literally dressed up like the pirate Jack Sparrow, but he was an actual sparrow. Like it was a bird dressed up like a bird.
What?
Had like a beak and yeah. But he had an agent in L.A. Named Myrna Lieberman, and I remember his mom had sent a photo of me to her, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, he definitely has the look." So in 5th grade, this lady flies me out to L.A. I went with my mom, and we met with her, and
The look.
she was like, "Yeah, if you could be here for a week, that would be sweet." So I took like a week-long acting class that she put me in, and I didn't know shit. And I was like, all these kids that were on it, like, ended up growing up, and I ended up seeing them like on Disney Channel, and like, it was crazy. And so
You're like Lindsay Lohan in your shit or what?
no,
I was
not
kidding.
her, but yeah, and they were all like scrub roles, But anyway, this lady, I ended up going to her house, and she like auditioned me in front of her to see if I had learned anything. And I remember it was the most awkward thing because I was just sitting in her kitchen, and she was telling me, "Yeah, can we're going to role play this Pop-Tart commercial." So that was going to be my first role, was this Pop-Tart thing.
All right.
So I did this Pop-Tart run through or whatever, and I probably sucked.
Give like what do you remember? Like give us like a taste of it.
God, I don't remember.
Okay.
But it was probably like, "Have you tried that shit?"
Like, hey kids, do you like Pop-Tarts?
"Hey kids, do you like the cookies and cream Pop-Tarts?" "Well, we got some cream for you."
Oh no, yeah. This is Pop-Tarts for your mom and dad.
And then then she was like, "Yeah, can you dance for me?" So I just did some like random like break dancing in the kitchen with some old lady just watching me.
You almost got Jeffrey Epstein.
Probably, dude.
Bro.
Yeah. Probably.
Wow.
And that's probably how close I was. Thank God my mom was there.
Yeah. Or there was that guy from Disney, Dan Schneider.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, he was Nickelodeon.
Yeah, Nickelodeon.
Yeah. So you were even closer because iCarly.
Yep. And then ironically, she asked me to sing for her. So I sang for her. And then at the very end, she told my mom, "I don't think he's ready for acting, but you should get him into singing.
Oh wow.
He's going to be great."
Oh wow.
So flash forward to now. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
How full circle.
Oh.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I'm glad you didn't get Jeffrey Epstein.
Me too, buddy. Me too.
Dang.
We could be talking about a different type of pod.
It's true. A pod in a cell. You could be in a cell.
Yeah.
Respect for avoiding that.
I know.
What about content that you're consuming? What TV shows you watching? Do you watch TV?
I don't watch TV.
You watch TV?
I watch what have I been watching lately? Man, I watch a lot of documentaries. I just watched the Ed Sheeran documentary.
Oh really? What's that called? Sound of Color, I bet.
Probably something about red hair and like I don't know. But it was an Ed Sheeran thing, and it was
A Ginger's Life.
I know. But it was freaking great.
He's from where? Ireland?
He's from Scotland, I think. I don't know.
You just watched a documentary.
Dude, it wasn't really about that. It wasn't like a documentary about his
whole life.
past life. It was like what his current state of music has been. And,
Oh.
like, he got married like within the last few years, and Yeah. And like, so it's kind of just, like telling it touched more on the music side of stuff, his songwriting, I guess things like that. But I'm sure that there's probably documentaries out there that are more like
his history.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a quick money grab at this point in Netflix and Hulu. They're doing documentaries about shit that happened two days ago, a week ago. Like,
I know. Look at the submarine thing. They had one out.
Exactly. So, it's what Ed Sheeran had a documentary about his current tour, probably is what I would assume, because his current tour was doing like crazy numbers.
Yeah.
Before Taylor Swift went out, it was like the highest grossing tour.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could see that. But what about do you listen to podcasts?
I do.
What podcast do you listen to?
Rogan, man. I love Joe Rogan.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. I'll listen to this one here and there. And then there's another one called Ray's Rowdy Pod. I listen to like a lot of the country music industry thing because I just like to study, and like I don't reinvent the wheel. So, I mean, I'm going to listen to artists who've made it so that way, or even the ones that haven't made it because, they all have some experiences that I probably haven't had yet. And, if they can talk about it and I can kind of keep my eyes peeled for it moving forward, it's going to help me, and there's a saying that says comparison is the thief of joy, but I also think healthy comparison is good because I like to look at somebody and say, okay, he's kind of at my level. How does he have this? What is he doing different?
She bite you?
Yeah.
How funny.
Now I'm going to turn into a cat.
Yeah, no, she's chill. She got her shots.
Oh, yeah. It was just innocent.
But anyway.
But yeah. So I just like to study things more than anything. But like I said, I read a lot. So the one that I'm reading right now is called 12 Rules to Life. Jordan Peterson. And I don't know.
About?
I just listen to jazz music other than that. Like,
what's that book about?
It's kind of just like self-motivation. Kind of like, I like books about that. That's kind of what it is. It just talks about just kind of like being a good guy, being a good person in general, and like how you can improve yourself, I guess, on a daily basis. And, I think that books like that have helped me a lot because it's just staying motivated, maybe, focusing on like my own health. I know, like the last time I was here, I was drinking a lot and I had gained a lot of weight from it. And like, I just eventually realized, and it just kind of, not that I was like getting drunk or like an alcoholic or nothing, but it was just, you're surrounded by it all the time. And so the social aspect of it is to just do it. Mm-hmm. And, man, it was just catching up to me. And, I was in just not living a healthy lifestyle. So it just kind of made me think about some things about just kind of being at my best. So that way when opportunities come, I'm ready for it, mm-hmm. And yeah, that's pretty much. So I don't really watch TV, I guess. I'm also really busy, so I like to watch movies by myself at the movie theater, though.
What's the latest one you saw?
The Silent Freedom one. I
okay.
saw that. I think
that was about fucking child trafficking.
Yeah.
In like South America.
Mm.
I read the thing. Me and my mom were at Golden Corral. My mom was like, "I want to go see a movie. Like, where should I go see?" And it was like the middle of the day, and I was like, "Well, this one starts in 30 minutes." And it was that one.
Yeah.
She went and saw it, and she was like, "What the heck?"
It's pretty crazy.
She said it was crazy. My mom's from South America. My mom's from Mexico.
Yeah. It's a crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy thing.
But what'd you think?
It was dark, but not something we should ignore. I mean,
yeah, obviously, yeah, I know.
Yeah, like it's kind of weird that our media is kind of covering it up a little bit, and I think they're trying to call it a conspiracy theory. Like the sex trafficking is a conspiracy theory, especially child trafficking. It's a little weird.
How much light can you shed on child trafficking? Like, we all know what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, is that just gonna consume daily news? We're gonna have 24/7 news cycle on child trafficking.
Right.
There's so much. There's like war crimes.
Right.
There's fucking like murders happening in every city every day. Like,
Yeah.
we're gonna be bombarded with. I don't know.
Right. I mean, I would say the only thing about it, it's like it's $150 billion crime industry, so it's like the highest grossing.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, and most of it is done here in the U.S., which I didn't know.
That's what my mom said too.
All of it comes from other countries mostly, but
it says
most
that in the
of it's
movie.
done here. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because it's based on a real story.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wow.
The guy that it's based about was like worked for Homeland Security, and then he was in that like lane of it, like pedophiles and trafficking and stuff, and ended up finding like a lane, a network or whatever, and then he was going to pursue it, and the U.S. government shut him down for it.
Oh wow.
And so he quit and pursued it on his own, and ended up saving and according to the movie, they don't really ever save the kids. They just they catch the perps, but they don't ever save the kids. They can't, because it's just like they just get shipped off in these containers all over the world.
Oh dang! So then it's about 2 kids, right? In particular.
That's kind of really how it started. Was he rescued a kid, which led him to a ring, and
so he never saves the kids. They just.
Well, he does save the kids. That's why the story is so crazy. Is he's like, I think he did a sting operation. He did 2 of them in his career, I think is what it said. But like this one in particular, he did a sting, and it ended up being like he saved like 58 kids or something, 60 kids, which is super. That's what they touch on that. Like even saving one is a career topper, and I'm like, what? That sucks. That's terrible.
Yes, I mean to fucking bring together that and the documentary thing.
Yeah.
The Jeffrey Epstein documentary. Did you see that shit?
Yeah.
Like he would get him from like local middle schools.
Yeah.
Like they would recruit each other. Like
yeah.
He'd be like, "Oh, I'll give you $40 to go get your friend that's just a dumbass."
Yep.
Basically.
Yeah. Well, that's what's kind of weird about it. It's just, so the Miss Columbia. I'm probably gonna spoil all this stuff, but if you don't watch it, whatever.
I'm not gonna. I don't watch movies. I like TV shows.
Yeah.
Which is weird. But.
So like Miss Columbia was the main recruiter for this ring, child trafficking ring. So it's basically a celebrity.
Oh wow.
And she would go to these third world areas, these real broke families, and she would go and tell these parents, "Oh my gosh, your kids can
be models."
Yeah. And then they'd have them come to like this building. Parents aren't allowed. Oh, this is the part where it's just the kids. Like, come back at 7 p.m. Parents come back. Kids are fucking gone. And what's crazy is they're so far gone. They're like taken, put in a container on a ship, which is also connected with all this stuff, and shipped to another country within the 24 hours. They're gone. That's why they never usually get saved.
Yeah. I mean, okay, well, there probably should be a bigger light on it, but like the news cycle, like,
yeah,
what's the answer to that?
It's tough.
Like, you can't police a third world country.
No.
Like they're gonna fucking do their own thing.
It's interesting.
Yeah. It's on us. When we need to be more like vigilant of like, why are we buying fucking underage people in America?
Right. I think that was the biggest thing that I was surprised. I was like, man, it's happening. Like the kids are being taken from these other countries.
Yeah.
But like they're coming here. Why is it such a problem here?
Yeah. Like why are American dollars like? Yeah. What?
But then it makes you think about the Epstein thing, and it's like, that's why it's not a conspiracy theory, is because it's all leading back to that type of stuff. Whether it's him or not, it's obviously a cesspool.
And then they just probably get murdered. Mm-hmm. Like at some certain age,
dude.
They probably are like undesirable, and they just are swept under the rug.
It touched on that too. They can take them at any age. I mean,
yeah, probably younger the better. Like weird as fuck. Like raise them.
Oh yeah, there's some sickos.
Yeah,
but I think they said that they stop at like 16 or 15, and the kids will do that from when they're young, like that young, they'll either die, but they're getting used 5 or 6 times a day.
Like used as in like sexually assaulted.
A day, yeah.
Oh my God, bro.
And that's for till they're 16, and then when they're 16 or 15 or whatever, they're either dead, or they'll kill them, or they harvest their organs for the black market. That's what they said.
Oh, that makes sense too. Fuck, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
And it's probably more likely that because there's almost $1 million in your body right now.
Why would you let it go to waste?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In their thought process of it. Sick, dude. It's sick.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy. I was watching this National Geographic documentary about black market organs. Like there's like in like India, it's really popular for just like young farmers to just try to come up on a quick, like, in their money it's only like, a few $100s, but in American dollars, like a rich person in America is paying like $30,000 for a new kidney. So like the weird translation of like an American going over there and finding this really like impoverished person who is kind of tricked into the whole game. Like,
right,
they think that they're just gonna, I don't even know really what they think, but they're tricked into it. They don't think that they're gonna be fucking harvested.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's crazy.
Man. Yeah, I don't really want to see that movie actually now.
I'd say it's just eye-opening because it's like it makes you realize what it is. Like, it's dark because it is a dark thing. But yeah, I mean, I think the weirdest thing about it is just that it has been such a push to cover it up and kind of like keep it a concealed thing. And it's like, no, people need to know about it. It doesn't need to be, like you said, pushed to the mainstream every day, but it's just like at least make people aware of how prevalent it is.
They're doing it. That's why,
yeah,
yeah, they're doing it.
Totally.
Man, that's disgusting, bro.
It is.
I saw it like that movie had a big push from groups to like, they were like trying to sell it out every showing.
Mm-hmm.
One person will buy 2, 4, 6 tickets, even though they're not going with anyone. They just want to fill up the seats.
Right.
Which is interesting just because it doesn't have any mainstream media support.
Right.
Huh. Crazy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy shit. All right, let's get back into the music.
Yep.
We got into Sound of Freedom.
We dove out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. Street Champs for mayor.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
Making your own political run.
Yeah, we're going to save the children. That's fucked up. That's fucked up, man. All right, back into the music. New album. What are you working on right now? When can we expect something to drop?
Yeah, so we have an unofficial release date of like August 18th for my next song. It's coming out, it's called I Could Get Used to This. And that'll be kind of my last song before we start hitting back into the studio. When I get back into Tennessee this August, we're going to hit the studio and like get a lot of writes in with a lot of guys pretty much this August, this September. So we're going to take probably the next couple months after this post-release to really regroup in the fall and get some new stuff going. Might release some cover songs, some acoustic cover songs to really just kind of let people hear, some of their favorite tunes, just my versions of it. I know that really helps just with the whole Spotify playlisting thing, which is a pain in the ass, but
to get put on
playlists, yeah, playlisting sucks.
Really?
I hate playlisting.
It's a lot of political shit behind the scenes.
Oh, dude, yeah, you don't even know. It's like, it's such a Morgan Wallen driven market right now that it's like, when the guy's putting out 36 songs and 36 of them end up on Billboard Hot 100.
That's how big his album was?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And it's like, it's just the push for him, and people like it. It's obviously people like what he does, and it's great, but like it makes it hard to, like, I put out, and it is a weird thing with the TikTok thing because these TikTokers will put out a song every 2 weeks, it seems like, and my distributors will tell me, yeah, we're not going to playlist him for this song because he's putting out too much music too soon, like too close together, and I'm like, what? So-and-so just put out 2 songs in a week. Mm-hmm. It's like, and you playlisted both of them. So, yeah, I don't call it politics. I'm not sure. We might switch distributors. I use STEM right now, which is, they're like the best one, but they're just, I think I'm a small fish there. So like I probably won't get the attention that I need
Yeah.
with a different distributor who might not be as big, but at least I might be bigger, because they have to share the way we talked about it is they have to share the wealth. You can't just have people from the best distributor on the playlist. They might have the majority of them, but they can't have all of them.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm on a different distributor, maybe that'll spark putting me on these playlists.
They'll fight for you more.
Right.
Makes
exactly.
sense.
Yeah, I'll get the special attention. So that's kind of what we thought about. So we're gonna regroup and kind of figure it out.
What about any album? Any album coming soon?
Probably not an album. If it was a little cheaper, I would say an album. I will be putting out the full EP, I think probably September, I guess. So I'll have a full EP that'll have all of the last 5 songs that I had on it plus a new one. So don't have a full a release date for that yet, but that'll be my 6-song EP, and then just again continue on with singles and stuff. Maybe a Christmas song, who knows?
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
That'd be really awesome, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually, in my personal life, I put on so much Christmas music, man. Just not even through Christmas time. I just enjoy Christmas music. I think it brings just like a refreshing air into the house. Like if you're just,
it's joy.
Like, yeah, exactly. You're just trying to have a
good vibes.
Yeah, it's like something to laugh about. Even like if all the family's over, you're like, oh, why the fuck you playing Christmas music? You know, we're just chilling.
Yeah, dude, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I would be really interested in that. Why maybe?
Just depends. I think it's more. I didn't put one out this past Christmas, but all my friends did, and God, I watched their numbers skyrocket.
Really?
Fans.
Wow.
Dude, it was crazy. And I told myself I will never not put out a Christmas, at least one, maybe 2, on like a little just.
Do the 4-song EP, man. Do all the hits. Do like what, Santa Baby, like I don't even know the other ones actually, like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, shit like that.
Something. Yeah.
I think that would really take off, man.
Oh,
I personally would spin that a lot.
Yeah. I think so too, man. I think because it's just stuff people know, and like if you can hear a different take on it. I've done that before where I listen to an artist sing a cover of somebody that it's already a good song, and I like their version of it better, and I might do their version of it for a live show, or that's the one that I prefer to listen to. So yeah. And then it's another way to get like on the Christmas Spotify playlists and the country Christmas playlists, and it just helps your growth. You can't really do anything wrong. If you're not doing anything at all, then you're doing something wrong. So
that makes sense. That makes total sense. We've been going for like what, an hour and 20 minutes each. That's awesome, man. Do you have any advice that you, at this point in your career, that you wish younger Cody would have heard? Maybe someone else could hear it.
Man, I think just believe in what you got going on. Like, it takes time, and it's supposed to. I mean, we live in a really weird phenomena of just instant success right now, and it's like that's not normal. So I opened for this guy named Aaron Watson, who's become a pretty good friend of mine. He's a Texas artist, real big artist, and we just hit it off really good. And he just told me, he's like, how long does it take to become a doctor? And I said, oh, it's 12 to 15 years. He said, yep, no different than this. He said it takes time, and it takes patience and consistency, a lot of hard work, and especially just confidence. And like, if you know what you like, stick to it. Don't try to sound like somebody else or chase somebody else's sound. And I got another good piece of advice that said, if you're like, there's a common theme of trying to find your sound or something. And a guy told me that's if you try to find your sound, you're going to be dead in the water, because people spend their whole careers trying to find their sound. If you think something sounds good and you like it, put it out.
I like that.
Don't try to like hide it, or, oh, it might not be what the market wants. Who cares? You know, either they're going to like it or they're not. And, you know, what's the point? What's going to hurt you for putting it out? You know, it might, like some of the songs I put out, I didn't think that they would be the ones that hit or got me into certain opportunities, but they did. You know, and it's just like, you just never know. It's such a random thing. And yeah, man, I think it's just be patient with it, enjoy it, you know, do it for the right reasons, you know, stuff like that. And just don't quit on yourself either. You know, if you quit on yourself, then that's the only reason you probably won't make it, you know.
Wow, man. Very insightful. It's a pleasure having you back, man. I love having you here. You're like, I cannot wait until you're fucking the #1 country superstar ever, and I'm going to be like, damn, I interviewed him when we were just smashing beers, smashing bottles of whiskey, and a hot champion 2023 Nuggets bottles.
Champions, yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm so excited to see you, man.
Thank you, man. Same.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great future for both of us.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, dude. I appreciate it.
For sure, man. Do you want to tell people where to follow you?
Yeah, you guys can follow me at Cody Cozz Music. That's Cody Cozz. And yeah, I just appreciate all of your guys' support, and hopefully I can give you guys some insight that'll help you with your careers. And don't ever feel afraid to reach out. You know, I'm always willing to give advice and help as much as I can. And yeah, just go check out my music, and hopefully you'll like it. We got some new stuff coming up. Just released an online merch store, so if you want to get on there and help support that, you can. And we got some shows. If you're from Pueblo, we got one coming up August 5th at the Pueblo Ice Arena and Event Center. It's one you don't want to miss. So thank you, Street Champs.
Cody Cozz, Street Champs. Street Champs will be in the building for the Ice Arena show. Day in the life vlog coming soon. We're going to go all out for that bad boy. Pulling all the stops, drone footage, all that shit. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. All right, y'all. Peace. What's up, guys? We just hit 2,000 subs. We're trying to make it 3. Help us out. Hit the subscribe button. Peace.